Hello, everyone. Today we're going to take a look at Kahoot, which is a really fun game, and that's probably why it's called Kahoot. Your classroom will be filled with laughter and fun and learning when you play this game. So the first thing that you need to know about Kahoot is something that I struggled with when I started was finding how to get the view that I wanted to present in class. So there are actually two different web addresses that you need to know. So Kahoot.com is where you go to make your free account, to manipulate your questions, and do things from the teacher end. But if you're presenting this game, you want to present it from the website Kahoot.it or Kahoot it. Uh, this is where the students will go to sign into the game and play. So this is the student side of the website. Okay, so let's start by going into my account. You get a free account, so you can create a free account if you don't have one already. And you can see here that there are a lot of opportunities for you to have some different plans with Kahoot. So there's the free version, there's a pro version for $3 per month, a $6 per month premium version, and looks like they have a discount here on premium plus version that's currently going on. And we're going to talk about these account types more in the future, so I'm just going to continue for free right now because we're going to start by playing a Kahoot game that I've already created for those of you that have never seen Kahoot before. And so I have one called Sun and Space Weather. So let's take a look at it from the teacher end. So this is if you would hit this create button, you would have a format like this where you can add questions, many different types of questions with images, videos, all different types of multimedia that you can use to enhance your questions. But Kahoot is a multiple choice question type game, trivia game, where students are scored on getting an answer correctly and also how quickly they respond. And then it automatically tallies the points for you. Plus, there's a lot of really fun music involved. Makes it really engaging. So students will play um, on like a tablet or a cell phone that they would use in their classroom, or you can assign it to them for homework. They don't have to play live with everybody in the classroom. They can play it on their own using the assign feature on a laptop or a computer or any device at all. And then you can compare scores from one another. So I'm just going to press the teach option for now. And on my cell phone, I have already pulled up Kahoot.it, and so I'll be ready to put in the game mode. But before a student can put in the game pin to start the game on Kahoot.it, what you need to do is set up some of the parameters for the game. So you can play classic or you can play team mode. My kids always love teaming up together and playing team mode. Would just gather around one of the classroom tablets and use it. You can see these four options on the tablet. That's how they submit their answers. So like instead of answer A, B, C, or D, they answer the red triangle or the diamond or rhombus, blue shape, blue colored with that shape, or you can have the gold circle or the green triangle. And then there are a lot of other options down here that you can do. And so the paid version, you can get personalized learning, which lets players practice difficult questions after the live game. So if they're studying for a test, which is really what the best use for Kahoot is reviewing and reteaching material that you've already taught, helping students get a chance to study. Also, there's the friendly nickname generator, which I really like this because many times I've not had this option, and students would put in, profanity or just something that really wasn't something that I want at my classroom environment. So I really like that this is an option. I'm going to turn it on, and that will help me police, the names that students use. Also, you can remove anybody from a game at any time. So if you notice that a student would input a name that's not appropriate for your classroom, you can just X them out and then disqualify them from the game that way. And so other general options here, you can change the music styles. Of course, I like original music. You can randomize the order of questions. I'm just going to leave them in the same order for now. Randomize the order of answers so that way they're not always the same. And then you can show minimized intro instructions about your game. And so you also have some advanced options here where you as the teacher don't really have to do anything with the questions moving on. But I like leaving this off because I like to have an opportunity to review a difficult question with students. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll do classic mode. And so as here are the directions. Join at www.it.kahoot app. So you just want to type in the game pin on my cell phone. So 3628199. Press enter. And then I'll create a nickname. So as soon as I create the nickname, you'll see it appear on the screen. And I've turned on the random names, so I can't make my own name. These are names that are given to me by Kahoot. So I'm going to choose Flying Ferret. And then you can also lock your game, so if you don't want anyone else joining into your game after you've got your class engaged, you can lock it, or we can just start. So there are 26 questions. We'll probably skip through some of them, but I just want to give you a demonstration here of what you can do with this. So there's the question, and then at the end of the time bar, a 2 thinking space, the clock down starts for folks to get their questions in. So this timer indicates, they're going to get points. So I'm going to have to answer the question. Okay, and so of course, if you had more than one student that was playing the game, you could see on this bar chart how many students answered what, and that really gives you some really nice feedback about how well your student knows the content. And so you can also review some of this information. If you have a chart or something, you can click Show Media and spend this time in between questions kind of going over something that you felt like your students should know a little bit better based upon this feedback that you get from the game. So it's instant feedback. Another reason why I love using it. Now on the player version, it shows me that I've got an answer streak of 1. It showed me how many points I got. And when you click next as the instructor, the points add up, and you'll have a top 5 scoreboard here of students who are in the top 5. And this is always really fun. The kids get really loud and excited and laugh a lot about this particular part of the game. And so it is kind of something that you have to manage, making sure they don't get too out of control at this point, because the competitiveness can really take over. Okay, and so I found that I go ahead and just quickly move into the next question, and that kind of gets teams refocused back because they need to read this question. And sometimes I'll read it loud too, but they know that the faster that they respond, the more points they'll get. So that time I actually selected the incorrect answer on purpose, but this is weird. It should have shown that I answered this here, and it didn't. So I'm not really sure what was up with that. You can even see the check mark. Maybe it's because I'm playing a one-player game. But the answer here, a photon moves through this layer in about 100,000 years. Well, that would be this layer where light is traveling from the core out of the sun. And so we call this the radiation zone. That would have been the correct answer. And so obviously no points, and I lost my answer streak. So next question, cycling currents of plasma generate magnetic fields in this layer. Pops up in blue. Oh yeah, I remember Mr. Rebel was talking about the convection. So they'll take that answer. And then you get your instant feedback again. I'm just going to skip some questions so that we can take a look at some of the other features. Really would like to get to the end of this. So I can show you a ghost mode, but so instead, I'm just going to end the game and I'll talk about ghost mode. So ghost mode is really fun because it gives the kids a chance to kind of compete against themselves to see if they can improve or do better as they prepare for the test. And so here I've hit the get feedback option. Your students then will get a little survey on their screen about how they like the Kahoot. So they can give you from 1 to 5 stars. They can give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down on whether you learned something or not. Do you recommend it? Another thumbs up, thumb down, and then also a kind of a how do you feel? Smiley face, frowny face, or kind of neutral. And so I've submitted the results, and then as on the instructor side, you can uh, see that feedback. Of course, I'm going to give my game a 5-star review. I did make it. Uh, and so also you can view reports and get like item analysis, types of information about what questions your students are doing the best on, what they actually respond item by item. It gets very particular, and it's another benefit of using Kahoot. And so I'm going to hit play again to show you the ghost mode. See if I can get it to work correctly. I've not done ghost mode in my classroom. One of my teacher friends told me about ghost mode, and so the directions that I read say to just play again, and ghost mode is activated. Okay, let's see if ghost mode worked. Yeah, so the little ghost here is actually my previous score. So in the first game, I got this first question correct. In this game, I purposely got it wrong. And so you can continuously keep your ghost on the scoreboard, or you can drop it. So if you want to drop somebody, you would just click their name and it drops them out of the game entirely. They get completely removed from the app or the website, and will have to sign back in again. Okay, so that's kind of what the game looks like. Let's go ahead now and take a look at some of the features in Upgrade Now. So remember, there's the Pro, Premium, and there's the Premium Plus version. And so in the Pro, you can unlock more question types. You can collaborate with colleagues and get access to advanced reports. Premium version, you get the full suite of question types, distance learning tools, and play school size game. And so it looks like they're also in Teacher Plus mode have interactive lessons that go on with the Kahoots. Import slides from presentations into your Kahoot so that you can easily turn a quiz that you might have in a PowerPoint presentation and turn it into a Kahoot game. And so if we continue scrolling down, though, we'll see some of the other little checkboxes that you get. And so for the basic free version, you get class-sized games, so you can play just within your classroom. If you want to have a license that everyone in your school can play your games, you need to go to the Premium or Premium Plus version. Okay, and then some of the distance learning tools that are available teach students outside the classroom by hosting games by video conference. You can assign student-paced challenges for students to play at their own pace, like for homework, and you can do that with all versions. Here are 4 more things in Create and Play you can do with all versions. Play millions of community-made games by subject and grade, so you can pick from a library of games that have been created. My game that I just did, I submitted to a library, so anybody can play that one. You can choose from just particular questions to build your own quiz that are, things that are in the library already, but you maybe don't want everything in a particular game, just some of the questions you can pull from it. Add images and answers for pre-readers and math students for the basic version. And then here in the premium versions or pro versions, you can drive deeper learning and promote accuracy with multi-select answers. You also get open-ended questions in the premium version. Word cloud questions are coming soon in the premium version, and you can edit premium ready-to-play games that are in the library as well. And of course, importing slides seems like something that those of you that don't have a lot of time on your hands but want to make a Kahoot, that might be something that you'll find useful. Save time by adding content, adding your slides as well. And then you can add your school logo to your Kahoots with the premium version. You can get different music styles with all versions like I showed you. And so there's a whole list here of things that you can consider when you're trying to decide which one it is that you would like. Also, I believe during the COVID-19 school closures, you can actually get Kahoot Premium for free until your school reopens. I do believe I saw that here somewhere. It's probably on the home page. Yeah, so here you can learn more here on the home page of Kahoot about that if you're interested. And so other things that are on the home page are, you know, way to access like your account, your interests, and your profile are here. Particular challenges that you have set for students that are working from home, you can review their answers here. This is part of the library of Kahoots that you could discover online and play, depending on which version of Kahoot you have. Depends on what types of games will be available for you. And then you can pull your reports here from the games that you play. So I've played about 55 different Kahoots. I can pull up a particular time that I played with a class of students and get the feedback from them, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And then also, how do I get to other Kahoots I've made? And then if people in my district or my school have created Kahoots that we want to play and collaborate with, that'll be available in the team space. And then, of course, just the news feed here on the home page. Okay, so let's take a look at those reports. I'm going to click on the report icon to get us to that page. And so these are games that were finished today. These are the ones that I did today while practicing. So maybe I want to go back to a previous sun and space weather game. And so let's take a look at this. And so what you get is this kind of summary, how many percent correct people got, how many players. This was only one player. This is a bad one. I picked a bad one. Okay, so I also have a Kahoot on scientific notation. So I'll click that to bring up the report summary for that game. So 63% correct answers. I had 14 players, 16 questions. It took 9 minutes to play the game. And then it already tells me there were 2 difficult questions. So only 21% of the people got this correct. So this was a tough one. You can click this to expand it. People that need help, these are their names that they use. You might even have like team names used here instead of people's first names. Apparently my students just wanted to use their first name when we did this. And view the final results and the podium. And if you want to see your exact players and what they did player by player, you can do that. And so here we can take a look at Cookies and Cream's particular scoring for the game. And so question by question, whether they got it correct, what they answered. So if they got it incorrect, I'll know what it is that they actually answered instead, how much time it took for them to answer each question, and then the number of points that they got. So that's based upon how quickly they responded in relation to the other players in the game. Okay, we can also look at it by questions rather than by players. So here's the first question, 64% of people got it correct, 71% of people got it correct for number 2. Question number 6 must have been an easy one, 85% of the competitors got it correct. Okay, and then you can also check your feedback. So remember that survey thing that I did in the demo. If you ask students for feedback, it'll be archived here as well. Okay, so maybe you really like that reporting information and you want to know how to like print it out or gain access to it. That's very easy to do. You just go to report options, click the 3-dot icon. You can download it and save it to your computer somewhere, or you can print it out. You can also view other reports here. Okay, let's go back to the ribbon here. So we've checked out the home screen, we've checked out reports now. Let's take a look at Discover. And so Discover is just this is the expanded library of all the games. So maybe you're looking for a particular game and don't really have time to make something. You can find a Kahoot that goes along with the topic and proofread it and see if, or proof play it, I'm sorry, and see if it's something that you want to do with your students. And then I already showed you guys around home, but there is something that I want to draw your attention to. You can also join free virtual events. Like if you want to get more training on Kahoot, that option is here also on the homepage. So this might be something you're interested in doing if you plan on doing Kahoots virtually. I'm sure they're covering that topic moving forward. Okay, and then also the last option up here across the top ribbon, it just takes you to the library of Kahoots that you've already created. So you can see I've created some for Earth and Space Science when I was teaching Earth and Space Science. I also did an activity from my advisor period called Rights, Remixes, and Respect. And so we were talking about copyright issues that day. And so I turned that lesson into just a presentation, into a really fun interactive game that students could then practice some of the knowledge that I covered. And so I could see why Kahoot would like for you to start embedding your presentations in with your games through their premium version, because that's really what I was liking with using Kahoot for something like that. And so let's just create an example here just to give you an idea of what it is that you can do with the basic version. So we're just going to hit new Kahoot, click create, and then so we just click to start typing my question. So maybe I want to say how many miles away is the sun on average from the Earth? Or let me word that better. How many miles away on average is the distance to the sun from Earth? And so you can set a time limit. You can change the number of points, the capacity points. Maybe you have a particular hard question, or you want to reward kids for a particular question. They get it correct, you can raise the point value if they answer it instantly, because as that timer ticks, the number of points they earn if they get it correct drops off from their score. And so here you can change it from single select, or if you're using the paid version, you can do multiple select. And so, of course, I'm going to put some numbers in. Maybe I want to put 92 million miles, or maybe I want to make this a place value question, right? And have my students, I want to change this to 93 million miles, and give them an opportunity to think about place value. Maybe that's really what I'm testing. And so you actually only need 2 for sure answer choices to make a question, 4 optional. You can also make images an answer choice. So you can pull from an image from the image library, or upload something from your computer. And then again, remember I mentioned that you can add images like you saw in my demonstration. You can get those from the library. You can upload them yourself, or if you want to put a video from YouTube in as a kind of like a video question, like you might see on some game shows on TV, that would really get your kids engaged. You just put the link there for that. So then you click done, and you can go into the next question. So, or sorry, done is done. I actually want to edit. So I want to save this one by clicking add question. And so I want this next question, maybe I want to make a true or false question, or an open-ended question, or a puzzle question. And so puzzle questions, when you place things chronologically or sequentially in a correct order, or even if you just want a greater than, less than type of question. And so you'll notice that also open-ended, the poll questions and the slide questions require a pro or premium account. And so you're limited to quiz and true or false. You can also make your next question from the question bank if you want. And so you can look for a particular topic. And so maybe I want to look for questions on galaxies. Okay, so 50 to 100 galaxies is called a cluster, supercluster, universe, or galaxy, which is a little typo there. So I can look from just from within my Kahoots or my team space also to see if I already have. Oh, I typed galaxies wrong. to see if you have any existing questions too that you might want to pull into your Kahoot. And you can also import a spreadsheet for your question and put a, or for like your presentation with your slides. Okay, so that's kind of the basics, and I hope you guys have fun Kahooting.